To which I kindly pointed out, that isn't a clavicle.
It's not even a bone.
And welcome to the Big Damn Cast. Nerdy news, geeky gossip, shit that's fit to occupy your time, because what else are you going to listen to now you're commuting back to work? Music? The news?
Fuck that shit.
Is that a podcast?
Probably.
If not, I think it's time for a rebrand. I'm Chris Brains Johnson.
And I'm not actually here.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it has.
Stuff's happened.
That's how that time moves in a progressive linear fashion.
Time is like a river. It's just gone down.
Flat circle.
Jobs have ended. Jobs have begun.
Jobs have ended.
Jobs have been applied for. It'd be nice to get some work in November. And I've been moving this room around. We're in my office. And
I'm so confused.
There's sort of a ladder with shit on it, and
I came in and I thought it was in a different house.
I mean, you didn't. You knew it was this house.
Shut up! Stop! Don't destroy the illusion.
What, the illusion that we have something worthwhile to say?
Hey!
Speaking of content.
Hey! We've got worthwhile things to say.
Do we?
We've got to talk about... the
Met Gala.
The Rick and Morty finale.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not talking about the Met Gala. That's for visual medium.
But Lil Nas X's outfit, though. Crity TV was the first thing that came to mind.
Just... That kid is on point. All the time. You gotta love him.
He didn't understand the assignment. He snuck into the classroom the night before, deleted the teacher's original file, and rewrote a new assignment. That's what happened.
I know what you want. So, we have also got to talk about the latest.
Hootfa!
We got a Shang-Chi email to catch up from last week as well.
We do indeed. And another Marvel thing. Oh god, they're talking about Marvel again. Another Marvel thing. The Hawkeye trailer.
Yes.
This trailer for Hawkeye, the limited series.
The trailer for Hawkeye, the limited series based on Hawkeye, the limited series by Matt Fraction. They're just doing the Matt Fraction and Nigel run, but let's get into that. Let's do that
one first. I mean, they're quickly writing his family out of the storyline in a way that doesn't feel like they're being casually tossed aside. Like I'm glad. So something dangerous is happening, so I need you guys to get out of town for a bit while I deal with this. It's going to be
I'm glad they didn't put them in the car and then blow the car up.
Yeah.
I was half expecting them to do that. I was thinking, no, don't, and they didn't.
No. Well, what's kind of nice it seems from this trailer, the setup is dude went around for 5 years killing mobsters during the events of Endgame.
Yeah.
And, that's a trail of murder. You did a murder.
Did several murders.
Clint, you committed many murders.
Almost like there's going to be consequences for those murders.
Yeah, those consequences weren't just him being like, no, let me sacrifice myself on Vormir because I have to atone for my sins. It's like, no, you get to live now. You get to live and be with your family. And it looks like he's spending every minute he possibly can with them and having the best time.
Yeah, until he gets caught for his multiple murders.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, isn't it? It's like, what police officer, realistically, after the events of the Snap, would go to the lengths of being like, yeah, we're going to have to bring you in. They'd be like, this guy got rid of most organised crime during the Snap.
It's a very Punisher-friendly outlook.
It is, and it's extra weird that the premise is someone on the news is seen wearing his Ronin outfit. Someone is dressed as the Ronin. So he goes to deal with
publicly, no one knew he was Ronin.
No, but they knew that there was someone like that going around. So someone else has taken up sort of the mantle. And
it's Echo, isn't it?
Well, no, it's Kate Bishop.
Is it?
That's Kate Bishop, isn't it? That's Haley Steinfeld.
No, Kate Bishop is the Hawkeye fangirl. But I think the person who is
I missed a trick
Ronin,
there.
I think it's Echo. I think they're introducing Echo in this.
Yeah, Echo is in here. Because news that sort of slipped under the radar earlier this year is that Echo's getting a spin-off series.
Yeah.
I'm like, Huh? Can we not see her first? Like, establish her? So, wait, what? Right,
I
hang
could
on.
be wrong.
What family, what sort of comic family group does Echo mostly belong to? Daredevil. Okay. Right, well, the plot thickens there in terms of intertwining concepts, because do you know who liked an awful lot of Hawkeye-related tweets yesterday when the trailer came out?
Daredevil?
Yeah, but to be fair, he wasn't paying attention to his phone. He was just
audio description.
Yeah, they didn't have any on Jeremy Renner's Twitter. No, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Sorry, I'm just going to take a big deep breath. Ah!
Yeah. Now, keeping in mind as well, one of the main stars of this show, at least as far as we're aware of now, is going to be Florence Pugh.
Yes, of course.
Who we don't see in this trailer, and the internet got angry about, and I'm like,
unless she's
down.
Ronin.
It wasn't when he pulled off the thing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But Florence Pugh being in it, you think, okay, so that's the big name. The big names that they keep saying that are in this series are Jeremy Renner, Haley Steinfeld, and Florence Pugh.
Haley Steinfeld.
Steinfeld.
Not Seinfeld.
Felt great.
She's not a 90s sitcom.
What is the deal with being Spider-Gwen and Kate Bishop? And owning Bumblebee.
What is the deal with my unreasonably young girlfriend?
I may not be a pederast. Anyway, I mean, he went to prom with his girlfriend. It was weird then, and it's still weird now. He was in his late 30s. The point is, Jesus Christ, we got off on it. Everyone in Hollywood's a paedophile tangent really quickly there, didn't we? Don't worry, there'll be more of that. What's not to say that there aren't more surprises contained within the series?
Always more surprises.
Especially when it looks like it's mostly taking place in New York. So, if you're going to have a kingpin of crime of sorts, I mean, you've got one. You've got one ready, waiting, and cast, and continuity status of the Netflix shows aside, you've got a damn fine actor in a role that people thought was like the best MCU villain. So
True.
Maybe bring him back. I don't know. That's all speculation, but it's got me excited.
I double checked. Echo is in Hawkeye.
Yarr.
Well, she's credited as Maya Lopez.
That's Echo,
played by Alaqua Cox.
What a great name, Alaqua Cox. See, the problem is when I said it sounded naughty.
When you say most things, it sounds naughty.
Oh.
Oh.
Stop it, you. Anyway, series. I think it looks fun. They're really leaning into the Christmas angle and setting in the trailers.
They're really just straight up recreating set pieces from the Fraction Naja run, which I've not got a problem with.
I mean, the poster, for fuck's sake.
I'm just hoping that Fraction and Naja are getting properly reimbursed. They're not.
Getting
properly reimbursed.
Bloody writers never
work.
do. They just get like a special thanks to credit at the end of the whole thing.
Because like the whole car chase sequence with the choosing the arrows and no, that one's too dangerous. That is from like issue 3.
Yep. We also have a certain canine companion.
Lucky.
So, yeah.
The Tracksuit Bros.
And the fucking logo for the series.
Yeah, it's the Dave Arger logo. Yeah.
It's just. Basically, if you're excited for this and you can't wait for November, get yourself to a comic store or get on the Marvel Unlimited app and 7-day free trial. Not sponsored, but if they want to.
Just have it.
Yeah.
Just have it.
Do you remember I told you when I got Marvel Unlimited the other week, I wanted to get the
Dutch
package, but you can't just be in the US. Well, it's refreshing to the next version of that package soon. So the Spider-Man fangirl outfit, Ms. Marvel's going away, and the next figure is like even cooler. It's Pirate Shadowcat.
Oh.
The little smirking Lockheed and everything.
You need to read Hawks and Pox.
I do. Is it on the Marvel Unlimited app?
Hawks and Pox and Docs, yes.
Not sponsored, but I will be reading it.
It's everything up to the last 3 months.
Has it moved up?
It's 3 months behind now, yeah.
Shit off. Is that with the update the other week?
No, that's been happening.
Because they did an update last week where now you can download an unlimited number of issues based on your device's memory instead of just like 12 issues.
No, it happened last year, that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. Oh shit. Oh, I'm going to read so much fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Hawkeye looks fun. If you want to get a taste of what this series is going to be like, in the meantime, go read the Matt Fraction, My Life as a Weapon, as the first story arc. Go read it. It's good. It's the book that turned me around on Matt Fraction because I really didn't like Matt Fraction for a long time.
Well,
and then I read that and I was like, no, he's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, I was okay with Matt Fraction, but I think he was put on some series that didn't suit his style.
Invincible Iron Man,
Fantastic Four,
Thor. I absolutely hate Fear itself as an event. I think it's fucking awful. Itself. I think it's so bad. And that was when you were like, you've got to read Hawkeye. I was like, do I have to?
Yes.
I've read so much of this guy's stuff and I hate it.
No, you actually do have to read Hawkeye.
Okay.
It's required reading.
It is great.
It's pretty fucking good.
It's damn sharp.
His Immortal Iron Fist that he co-wrote with Ed Brubaker is very good as well.
Yeah, I read those. Is that Marvel All New All Different?
No, it's the old one. It's
Who
the
did
pre-Civil
the
War
one?
I'm not sure. I know that David Walker did Power Man and Iron Fist. David Walker. Am I getting his name right? He did Power Man and Iron Fist.
Oh, from All New All Different.
Yes,
that was. I read the first like 5
good.
of that, and that was really really good.
David Walker and Sanford Green, I believe that was, which was very good.
We like comics, in case you're wondering. Just in case you're stuck at all, we like comic books. Speaking
David
of,
S. Walker?
while you look that up, oh yeah, that sounds right. That name sounds right. Anyway, speaking of comic bukes, while you look that up, over on HBO Max, yet another thing is coming out that we in the UK have no idea when we're going to be able to enjoy it. They're releasing a series of Batman audio dramas onto HBO Max.
Okay, starring.
Not quite sure, because I don't know if they've released the official cast list as of this recording, but in the teaser trailer that they put out, Gordon sounds like Jeffrey Wright. And Batman sounds like Deirdre Bader. And they're going for a like more fantastical kind of radio serial vibe.
It is David Walker, by the way. I was right first time.
Hey, which I'm happy for, but I feel like that's as much as I can talk about it, considering yet again, it's an HBO Max thing with no plans for release outside of the US.
Why would we get nice things? Why would we get nice things? We're dirty, dirty people who need to be cleansed and don't deserve nice things.
Oh God.
I want to be pure.
Oh God. Jesus H. Christ.
Get that dirty hair off you.
Presto. You're bald. It's a month to Chucky.
1 month till Chucky!
Yeah, well, a little over when you hear this, but yeah, the Chucky Limited series. Again, no idea how we're going to get to watch over here, which upsets me to no end, since it was the only interesting thing to come out of Comic-Con.
Prime add-on channel, like fucking The Stand was.
I will take whatever free trial I need to binge it and get it in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I want me some Chucky!
I'll put it this way, we didn't keep...
Shudder.
We didn't keep the Stars play after we finished watching The Stand.
Yeah. You're like, do you know what? Maybe we will keep this around. Ezra Miller starts acting. Do you know what? No. I think we can burn this to the ground.
Yeah, we don't need to do this ever again. Let's not do this at all.
Do you know what we you know what you should never do ever again either?
Cross the streams.
Where are you going with this segue?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You just straight up busting makes you feel good.
Well, yeah.
Considering the next two things we're going to talk about will have spoilers in them, I think we're going to go in order of most accessible. So...
Most accessible.
I don't know if that works.
No relation to either.
If you live in the UK, you have access to all 4, so you don't have to pay any extra to go watch the thing we're about to talk about, which is the Rick and Morty 2-part season finale.
You lucky people.
You're like little bastards, you're like little shit, you little dreams. Do we have the episode titles for series
I will pull
5,
them up
episode 9 and 10?
Underberg.
But long story short, Rick gets sick of Morty's shit, pulls out a wheel of... because Morty's like retroactively fixing a lot of Rick's issues and questing on his own out of hours. Rick finds out, pulls out a wheel of choices of things that will be better than Morty, selects 2 crows, and the rest of that episode is it's just that. It's
2 crows.
Just 2 crows. The A plot is Morty gets portal gun juice on his palm and can suddenly see the other end of a portal.
So the first part of this 2-part finale is called Forgetting Sarek Mortshall.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They are sticking to this now. I love that, like, the first two series, that's just every other episode they do a Rick or Morty pun in the title, and then, like, series 3 onwards, like, no, they're all just going to have Rick and or Morty in the title somewhere.
And the...
Forget... What is it? Forgetting Sir Rick Mortshall. Fucking hell.
And the last episode is called Rick Mirai Jack.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So in season 5, we've had Mort Dinner Rick Andre.
That's the one with
Mr. Nimbus.
Mr. Nimbus.
Mortiplicity.
Yeah.
A Rick Convenient Mort.
Which one's that one?
That's the Planetina one.
Right, okay, yeah.
Rick Dependent Spray.
That's the sperm one.
A Morty Can Rick Feety. Rick and Morty's Thanksploitation Spectacular.
That's the one with the turkeys. Okay, yeah.
Gotron Genesis Rick Vangelion. Rickternal Friendshine of the Spotless Mort.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Forgetting Sir Rick Mortshall and Rick Mirai Jack.
Yeah. Okay. Forgetting Sir Rick Mortshall.
Forgetting Sir Rick Mortshall. It's
just a fun idea. The idea that, like, Morty meets someone who apparently used to adventure with his grandpa because they're on the other side of a portal to each other.
But where's the portal?
In the guy's thigh.
Where's the portal on Morty?
In his palm.
Because
he drops the portal
on
his palm.
Yeah.
So...
Do they take that to its logical conclusion? Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's Rick and Morty.
Yeah. But again, like, I like episodes like that where they just kind of suggest that Rick has... I mean, we know he's had a long life, but they suggest that, oh, God, no, you're not the first. Like, you're just his grandson. That's the only thing that makes you unique. Like, he's absolutely screwed over other people's lives in the past. And especially this guy who may or may not already have been deranged or has become deranged because of his time spent in an asylum, essentially.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But it's fun.
None of this plot matters.
No, which the show keeps saying to us continuously. Canon doesn't matter. Continuity doesn't matter. Last series, we obviously had the one on the train. The fiction.
It runs on plot.
Which was brilliantly scripted and fantastic, like, dissection of story tropes and everything.
Very smart.
But then you have this bit where you see, like, the future and it's like the final stand, final battle for everybody.
Yeah. Including,
like, Tammy and Phoenix Person and... Technically the first appearance of Phoenix Person after the end credit reveal that he exists.
Yes.
And evil Morty leading an army of Ricks and all this sort of stuff. And you're like, okay. And then they make a point in that episode of saying that canon doesn't really matter and it's a lot of bullshit, and if you invest too much in it, you're wasting your time.
Yes.
So it was kind of a nice statement of, they're saying that, look, if we want to tell a story about it, we will. If we don't, shut the fuck up and sit down and stop bothering us. But then that series ended with a Phoenix Person story with Tammy that also tied up the plot of if Beth left Earth or the clone left Earth or whatever. Like, so what they like to do is go, do you know what? We do have a story for that, but
yeah,
we'll do it at some point. It's fine.
They do like to say, you know what? Fuck it. Here's what you want. Now fuck you for wanting it.
And what's it called? Samrick Jack? Samarick Jack. Samarick Jack then does this 10 times over.
Yes.
Because we finally...
Rick Mirai Jack.
Rick Mirai Jack. We finally get a resolution to the Atlantis episode. Rick Atlantis, whatever. The Citadel of Rick's episode.
You go back to the Citadel, it runs on canon.
Yeah, which again is like, it's a throwaway joke.
Yeah.
But then the president, there's a mention of, Morty's president. And then the president wants to meet them. And I'm sat there going, oh fuck, they're actually following it up.
At which point Rick becomes increasingly annoyed that they are being drawn into the literal plot.
Yeah. He fucking hates it. He hates it. But then it turns out to be really intriguing.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it, guys. Pick one, but also feel free to flip-flop as much as you want because I enjoy the ideas you put on display.
I would be perfectly happy if that was the last episode of Rick and Morty.
Red Dwarf Series 8 styling. I think on a cliffhanger.
It would be not even a cliffhanger. I think it's just an excellent point to end it.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's not. We're getting like another 4 seasons.
I know,
but yeah.
If twere.
Well, the twere so simple.
Then
and just the idea as well that like we get the reveal finally that that flashback of Rick's past that we thought was real, then it's revealed in the same episode, Start Series 3 to be fake out to trick the bugs. It's like, no, it's real. It's flat out real. Another Rick from the future gets involved in Rick's business, or another Rick from another dimension gets involved in Rick's business. Beth and his wife did die.
Yeah.
And then he fucks off and goes looking for that other guy, and we get some not so subtle Blade Runner homages.
Because there was a line a couple of episodes ago which was just like skimmed over really quickly. Of like, what are you gonna do? Make a clone of your dead daughter? And both me and Keith were like, oh. Yeah,
It's in the Bird Person episode,
yeah,
I think, isn't it? The one with he's going through his mind.
memories.
And it's like, okay. Because then what we learn is also like the stories with him and Bird Person were real, like that battle and everything. That's completely genuine and all that's real. And by the end of it, he goes home eventually. Well, he finds the council at the Citadel of Ricks.
Yeah.
He kills them all, or most of them. Then some form of peace is brokered, which leads to the Council of Ricks. He kills most of them, which leads to him co-creating the Citadel.
Yeah.
Mostly so they'll just leave him the fuck alone and do their own thing. Then eventually he comes back to Earth to presumably a clone of Beth, who's grown up and has a family, and is like clearly devastated and shocked to see her dad.
Yep.
And you're like, the fuck has been going on? Plus we find out that the majority of Mortys are purposefully created to exist so that the Ricks can have a Morty to abuse or take advantage of or give all the shit jobs.
To act as a human shield.
To act as a human shield. And it's like, meaning that evil Morty is evil Morty, but like, I guess that makes you evil as well. Like, all that whole thing of, is it evil to want to topple the shitty regime?
Yep.
That means we exist just to like service him. Like, what does he call it? It's like the universe is just one giant crib for one giant baby.
Yep.
Not the incest baby.
No.
We don't want to get it confused.
That doesn't come back this episode. But
so even then, like, even Morty's original appearance wasn't just like he's off to do some evil stuff. It's no, he was underneath that evil Rick and he was treated like shit, and he is now going to try and stop everything from the inside. Doesn't stop him from doing horrible shit, like creating these grown sort of moloid-esque Mortys that are working in his mind. And then, like, him murdering so many of them as the Citadel's destroyed.
Yeah, just
gratuitous murder as well.
Yeah, basically just...
Like, the whole place is going to blow. They're all going to die.
Rerouting every single Morty and Rick's escape plan to turn it into a murder trap. To further power his big plan, which is to, if the universe is one giant crib for one giant baby, leave it.
Yeah. Which he does.
He does!
Yeah. He fucks right off into the beyond. Like, he's just gone. And it's like, alright.
Enters the further multiverse.
Brings his eye patch back too, just in time.
Yeah,
just to help us differentiate at the last second.
And then we get an actually incredibly poignant tag from Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Jesus,
about the brevity of life.
Yeah. Which in itself was like a homage to like the Series 3 tag as well. So like Series 3 ended with just like him or something. Yeah. It's like, oh, we're doing this again. Him in his little shitty apartment, not having a great time.
And it's just... you get this poignant message about the importance and brevity of your time on Earth delivered by Mr. Poopy Butthole. And if that doesn't sum up Rick and Morty, I don't know what does.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
Love him. I really enjoyed it. And I saw the online discourse was sort of a complete split divide between people who loved it or people who thought it was...
The online discourse?
You know what I mean? There was no one who was like, it was fine. It was like, I hated that. That was awful. And I loved it. And that was in our house. Lucy and I watched it. And then immediately afterwards, Lou was like, I didn't get that. I thought it was really shit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Keach and I liked it. Both dug it quite a bit. We thought it was a really strong piece of writing. I like how self-aware they are without being smug. And I do like that they consistently flip the bird to the most toxic parts of their audience in the show.
Oh, I enjoy that a lot.
I love that.
But I do wonder, though, like, just based off of the opposing reactions and everything, like how Lou and I felt, like, is it dangerous when they dive back into continuity? And is that because they distance themselves from it so much
because
you kind of learn to not care anymore.
I think they're so blasé with their continuity that if they go back to it and they don't follow it strictly, it doesn't matter.
No, ultimately, as long as they're creating a funny sci-fi show with weird, gory, stupid, like, baseline jokes, then...
Continuity only matters in so much as it services the story that you're telling.
Yeah.
In long-form stories. As long as it's not, like... As long as it doesn't break the world...
Yeah.
You're fine.
Do you hear that? People who keep complaining about the Timeless Children over a year and a half later.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Didn't break...
Just let it go.
It doesn't break it. You can like it or dislike it, but it doesn't break it. Nothing's broken. But Hartnell's the first Doctor. The Doctor doesn't go around calling themselves the first Doctor, you fucking idiots. That's what we, the fans, refer to the characters as to differentiate which one it is.
I think I left it in here somewhere.
Oh, he's having a little search. He's having a little rummage.
Oh, no. No! I have no fucks left to give!
But what about action plans in case a zombie invasion happens?
I continue to not love What If.
Do you want to learn something that might shock you?
What?
This was hands down my least favourite episode.
Yeah. It was
I liked it. I liked it enough.
It felt like half a story.
Yes.
And
yes,
and not a particularly good half of a particularly good story.
And
personally,
so that's the thing. I think the better story... I get why it was told the way it was told, because there is something to be said about how powerful that image is of Hulk being sent back to Earth, the events of Infinity War happening.
Yeah. Just
and arriving on Earth. But arriving on Earth, and like, the worst thing ever is coming to find out that something has already happened to Earth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate that.
It's a good idea.
It's a good setup. But I think the better story would have been zombie movie plot unfolding chronologically from the Ant-Man and the Wasp beginning of it all.
Yeah.
Because I want to see how that world gets overridden. I want to see how it gets screwed over.
The original Zombies was really solid without having that. It wasn't until we went back into Dead Days.
Yeah, and the Army of Darkness tie-in and everything. But what's interesting about the original Marvel Zombies concept is it's from the POV of the zombies.
Yeah,
like Magneto's your main character for 3 pages.
Yeah, they didn't do the sentient zombies in this.
Yeah, these are zombies. Yes, they're not the Marvel zombies. For more information on that, go listen to our Halloween episode from last year where we talk about horror comics. But
like inherently less interesting, I think.
Yeah, because again, that's why that concept in the comics is fun, because they first appear in Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
and you were reading that, and you think that Reed has somehow ended up getting into interdimensional contact with the main Fantastic Four. That they look like the '60s one. They're very classical. Yep. You're like, oh shit! They're going to cross over these universes. They said they were never going to do that. And then they come over, and someone pops through from their side to that one, and is like, wait a minute. This world's completely destroyed, and those people eating other people?
Yes.
Oh, shit. And that's when you realise that it's all part of some technology that the FF from that universe are using to look fine, so they can find a new universe to begin feasting in. And the only reason they do it... Fine. Well, you say that, but all the covers for Ultimate FF were drawn by Greg Land. So even when there are zombies, they look like a porn star. It's ridiculous.
Cool.
You joke about that, but there's totally horror concept that would work in there.
It's like probably been done.
Probs. Anyway.
You had an idea. Oh, it's been done.
It's been done. You say that. After this, I'll tell you about a thing I brainstormed with some mates yesterday in London, which would act as a double bill with your movie about the cannibal baby.
Oh, brilliant.
Seriously, we have a series, but I'm not saying it on mic because it's that much of a good idea. Like the elaborated version of Cannon Baby that we are not going to talk about it on podcast.
You can't let it escape into the ether.
It's not happening, you bastards. So, but yes, so that's what's interesting about the universe is the zombies are intelligent. It's sort of a sentient virus that after the hunger is abated, after they've eaten, and it's quashed, they start to come back to their senses. But a lot of them are now like, right, we've not got long before we're hungry again, so what are we eating now? And it's like, okay. Whereas some of them, mostly the ones who deal with a lot of guilt, like Spider-Man, are attacked by their conscience once the hunger's gone away. And like, are horrified by what they've done in the name of just eating. I didn't think that we were going to get that with this. Going in, based on the trailer, I was like, yeah, I mean, for Christ's sake, in this, they're blue. Like, that's a Romero nod right there in the first place. They're going to be shambling corpses, and I just, I think part of its failings this week, again, plot summary for those who didn't see it, but aren't fussed about spoilers, which we'll give you a spoiler warning properly for in a moment.
Yeah.
The Hulk is sent back to Earth by the Rainbow Bridge, by Heimdall, to go and warn them of Thanos' arrival, like at the beginning of Infinity War. But Banner arrives, there's no one in the Sanctum Sanctorum, he's looking up at that hole, and there's no one looking down at him. He goes and puts on some of Wong's spare clothes, and goes wandering in the streets. That's when you get Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian arriving. Yep. Rejoice, for you will be... And then they're attacked through a portal by Doctor Strange, Wong, and Iron Man. Thing is...
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Wong, and Iron Man... They've not been alive for a while.
No. They've seen better days.
Yeah. Dead day. That's the comment is. Point is...
I hate you.
Zombies happen. Thank you. I hate me too. Zombies are happening, and Bruce Banner gets sort of scooped up into a team of surviving heroes and their plan to potentially find a cure based off of what they know of the research at a SHIELD base in New Jersey.
Yes.
That SHIELD base, which is nice because there's a scene in the underground bit where you sort of look at the technology that the character set up there is using, and you're like, those are like the monitors Zola was saved into.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Like, there's obviously nothing evil going on with it now, but it's like, of course he'd reuse all the tech that's down here.
Is there?
Well, and it's zombies, and there are a group of surviving characters, and I think every voice actor reprises, anyone who's got major speaking lines reprises their role,
for better or worse,
bar Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But the actor playing Spidey, I think, does a really good job.
Yeah.
Did you just fart?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to take a bathroom pause in a sec.
Are you zombie infected?
I am zombie infected.
Are we at that point?
I'm very there.
Oh god.
Let me double check on these voice actors and then we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
Don't apologise for a damn thing, you beautiful baby boy. You've had a long day.
I've had a long day.
This bit's staying in. This bit's absolutely staying in. I want people to know why we sound different.
No, you should.
That's taking a fuckwat.
I'm taking a fuckwat. Yes, let me look up the voice cast for this. What if zombies?
Yeah, don't read any of them out just yet because we'll do that in the spoilers. But
as far as I can see, yes, everyone is
present and correct,
reprising their roles apart from.
Well, it's not Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, but he doesn't really have any lines. He just groans.
Yeah,
but that's
and also
Josh Keaton does provide the lines
in the previous one. But yeah, it's not Tom Holland for Spider-Man. It is. Hudson Thames,
who does a really good job.
Very good job.
Like to the point where I knew it wasn't Holland, but then began to doubt it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's really good Tom Holland. Holy shit. A group of survivors, Trek. Interesting ways to be murdered by or murder a bunch of zombies. Some of them pretty unique and fun, really lean into the idea that these are zombies with superpowers.
Yeah.
Let's do something with that. Because even in Marvel Zombies, they don't really use their superpowers so much.
No, that's true.
Because they are the only sort of species really left on the planet at that point. So there's no need to do any of that.
But I will
you get
say,
the upper half of Iron Man flying around using his the repulsors in his hands.
I will say, though, I don't think it goes far enough. And I'll tell you for how, and I'll tell you for why, after we've had a little quick break.
Oh, in the meantime, listen to this gap of about 2 seconds.
Yes, do it.
Spoilers! First spoiler, Match got back from the bathroom.
Yes.
Second spoiler, why didn't this work? Because I understand it can't be completely violent the way zombie media normally is.
And I think they push it as far as they can.
Oh yeah, by making the blood green helps.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in fairness, like Falcon is ripped in half.
Falcon gets vertically bisected.
Sharon Carter is exploded from the inside.
Yeah. Cap is horizontally bisected by the shield.
Like it's not like people don't die. I mean, doesn't Iron Man get his head cut off?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it's
Wong.
Wong gets his head cut off. What happens to Iron Man? His head blown up? I can't remember now.
I can't remember.
Like, but people. people definitely die in horrendous ways in this.
Yes.
There is body horror.
The actual zombie eating happens off screen.
Yeah.
And they turn very quickly.
Yeah. It also sort of suffers from... And this is a really dumb thing to say. I assume people are going to hear this and go, what the fuck are you talking about? But, like, it suffers from it expecting you to know how zombies work.
Which is kind of lampshaded by Peter as well.
Which is lampshaded by Peter and a very obvious Zombieland homage.
Yeah.
But, like, this might be, based on the audience watching it, someone's first zombie story.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really dumb. It's like, oh, everyone knows what zombies. And it's like, well, you could say that about, like, you know, vampires or whatever, but, like, unless you've actually read or watched a thing with any of these things in before, you only really know what people may have told you or what you've picked up from your cereal mascots. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's... You might want to sort of set it up. They don't really...
It should have been made for an older audience.
Yeah. And part of it as well is that every time someone does get attacked, they then come back as a zombie, which means that the zombie that attacked them just, like, bit part of them.
Yeah.
And then they become a zombie. That's not how it works in zombie stuff. Not everyone turns.
Yeah,
like,
because they get eaten.
Because they get ripped apart and eaten, and you know, you kind of need that. Okay, let's not drown it completely. Like, what stuff did we like before we get into the stuff that really didn't work? I liked the assortment of characters because it felt like a big enough mix of people from the MCU. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like having Kurt from the Ant-Man movies there was like, that's a weird choice, but I also get it because, like, the guy has technical know-how and knows how to do this shit. Yes. He was part of that, you know, bank robbing crew. Like, he knows how to figure out locks and infiltrating vehicles and, you know, changing generators and things like that. Plus, second reason, David Dastmalchian has to continue his multiverse comic book supremacy.
Yeah, of course.
So, animated MCU David Dastmalchian has to be a thing.
But also...
Didn't always look like him, though. I feel like...
never looked like him.
There was, like, one shot where, based on the lighting, you could tell that the 3D sculpt was on. Yeah. But the cel-shaded lines didn't quite do it. But he was lit a certain way. It was like, there he is. I can see it now. I felt like the hair was a cop-out.
Yeah,
his hair is much bigger in the Ant-Man movies. It is, like, huge. So they just all went for generic quiff. Like, oh, okay.
And it did make sense for him to be there in terms of having the virus originate with Hank Pym.
Yes, it was an Ant-Man origin, yeah. Him and Peter getting on feels very natural. So, of course, the two tech nerds would get on with each other. Okoye taking charge.
Yeah.
Sharon Carter, like, sort of taking a knee to that, as it were, and being like,
yeah,
she knows what she's doing. Point me in the direction, I'll get done what I need to get done. Because she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's efficient, she knows what to do.
Well, at this point, she's the power broker.
Well, that's where the continuity thing gets muddy, isn't it? Because, like, she wouldn't be yet.
Oh, no, because that doesn't happen.
She wouldn't be yet, but she also wouldn't be an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. at this point.
No, she'd be a fugitive. But not that it matters in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's Hope. Like, her inclusion works really well and leads to some really creative visual sequences.
Yep.
And an inevitable, oh god, imagine if she grows giant if she turns. Oh god, she grew giant when she turned, which was again a nice visual because it was like, they're going to get away, and then the giant woman, like, reaches up and grabs the plane. You're like, yeah, okay, sure, you've upped the stakes. Nicely done. I love it when they manage to get away. And she just lobs a random zombie at the plane. It just goes like, bah! And bounces off the back.
Yeah.
Just like a frustrated giant zombie, like, fuck! Just throw something at them. And yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah, it's an interesting group. It's really cool and lovely, as always, to, like, see and hear Happy.
I don't like the writing in this episode.
But then they kill him off. So.
Yeah. I don't like any of the writing in this episode.
Did you like the subplot with the base in New Jersey in Vision? That feels rushed. That feels like it should... That alone made me go, this should be an hour-long episode. Because like, I like the idea that he has began to formulate a potential way to stop the virus because he's realised that the will of the Mind Stone keeps them at bay.
Yeah.
So that's like part one. And then he's experimented on like essentially one of the first like ground zero people, which is Scott Lang.
But just his head.
Maybe that's all he was able to salvage.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we're never told. Like, we just know that he's managed to bring him back to life, and he's keeping the head alive in this like Futurama style container, which again we'll get to the negative separately. But like, Paul Rudd's going for it, and I appreciate that, despite the fact that tonally and dialogue-wise, none of it really works.
None of
but
the
I like his energy.
episode, yeah.
I like his energy a lot. Like when he sees, because I was like, oh god, at some point he's going to see Hope.
Yeah.
And when he does, and it's the first like non-funny bit he gets, and you sort of go, oh, that's... Oh, I wish we could dwell on this a little... No, we've got like a minute left.
People are dying and no time is being taken to deal with it because there isn't time for that to land.
I love that we see essentially a warped version of the relationship we all now love because of WandaVision and stuff, which is Wanda got infected, Vision immediately took her to this base as sort of like a place to keep her away from everyone.
Yeah.
And because he loves... And he's still processing, he doesn't quite understand it exactly. Yeah. He's like, you know... Because obviously in the films at this point, they've been on a secret little rendezvous in Edinburgh, like meeting up secretly. Two sides of the Sokovia Accords having a naughty little weekend away. Like, that was their thing. Where, of course, in this universe, that never happened, because before that, the zombie infection kicked around. Because we learn, again, like a little nod of continuity. I like the nod that like this happens between Civil War and Infinity War, because it's Ant-Man the Wasp.
Yes.
So, when the Avengers are sent to the West Coast to deal with it, in San Francisco, the team that's there have a mix of their designs, because like Black Widow is blonde haired, short bob cut because she's on the run at this point. Steve could have had the beard. Come on, guys, you should have given him the beard, but whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, I buy that. Like, that's an interesting thingy. I really like Wanda feeling like she felt like the third act. She felt like the boss level.
Yeah,
it was. Oh, the zombies retain their powers. We've managed to kill Strange and Wong. They would have been an issue. But now we've got the lady who's like going to use hex magic and violent like telekinetic spells to kill everybody. So that felt right. Vision. That when we watched it, I was like, he can't tear the Mind Stone out of his head. And then I realised, no, he can do. He could always do that.
Yeah.
Infinity War is about getting it removed from him so that he may continue to live.
Yeah.
Anyone can tear it off of him. That's what Thanos does.
Yeah.
So that made sense.
Although I feel a lot of it was just them trying to hit the same...
Save your negative, save your negative,
Yeah.
save your negative.
Okay.
Spidey. I liked Spidey a lot. I like that he was the actual kind of heart of this episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no. But I like that they lent on that, because Peter Parker, at least this incarnation we've seen, is a very hopeful dude.
Yeah.
He looks up to the world of all this stuff. So, of course, everyone else can be like, oh my god, it's hopeless. And he's like, come on, y'all know what to do. Like, you're superheroes.
It's only
We've got
hopeless
this.
in the second half of the episode.
Yeah, I know, but, like, oh, god damn it.
Got him!
God damn it. You chucklesome imp. But you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that he would have the more optimistic outlook.
Yeah.
Because he already looks up to these people anyway, and if he sees them being down and, like, all hope is lost, he's like, no, don't be silly, we've got it. Like, we can do it. We'll make it work. And I loved the one obvious homage to Marvel Zombies, the comic book, in that Vision was keeping a living specimen of a person to feed bits of to Wanda, and it was T'Challa, just like in the original comic book, made even more grim by the fact that this is a kid's show, and they kept that idea in it.
Yeah.
I appreciated that a lot, because I was like, oh, that is going to disturb some children.
That was pretty cool.
I also like how it ends in a way that all great zombie movies should, which is, it's all going to work out, they say, not realising that they're 2 minutes away from the worst possible outcome ever. And that confused me. When we watched it at first, I was like, hang on, where's Thanos? What's that about? I don't understand. It took me like 2 days to realise, oh, he's in Wakanda. He's brought the infection back, or arrived there and become infected. Yeah, presumably he's arrived there and become infected.
I think he's infected and then gone there.
But how's he been infected?
I don't think he went to Wakanda because he's got all the other stones.
Yeah, well, that's because he would have had no obstacles in obtaining them.
That's true.
Like, think about his linear story from Infinity War.
Oh, hang on.
At the start of Infinity War, he takes the Tesseract from Loki.
Yeah.
So he's got the Power Stone and the Space Stone. And then the Time Stone and the... What are the ones? Soul Stone, so that the Soul Stone plot can happen. Because he gets the Reality Stone from Tavan Lair. So the only ones that are accounted for are the Mind Stone and the Mind Stone and the Time Stone. Well, when we see Strange, he's not wearing the cape, and he's not got the Eye of Agamotto either.
No, that's true.
So it's possible that he's obtained the Time Stone a different way, or he's obtained it later because it's just like in the Sanctum somewhere.
Well, he must have obtained it later because
then,
that's what Ebony Maw and Black and Club Obsidian are there for.
Because linearly, what happens? Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it fucking is. That's the answer. Because I was going to say, chronologically in Infinity War, he then goes to Wakanda to get the final one.
Yeah.
And that's when he rocks up and just basically walks through everybody trying to do something to him and, kills Vision and stuff. So, like, that still adds up except the Time Stone. Unless, of course, Club Obsidian and Ebony Maw go back to Titan, which is what they're meant to do. They were meant to get hold of the stone and go back.
Or they don't go back. He goes for it and they get him.
True.
That's probably the more likely.
Either way, he's in Wakanda. He's got 5 of the 6 stones. And the episode ends on a, you thought Thanos was bad. What about zombies? And it's like, I mean, it's a cool visual. It's not any more frightening than his original plan and concept, really. I mean, what's going to happen now? It's going to, like, with its vague thought process as a zombie, like, what, make more food with the Infinity Gauntlet?
Make more zombie?
Make more zombies, and then what? Like, what do they eat? Like, it's just...
Zombie eat zombie?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he turns everyone back. Maybe it's a good thing.
I liked them arriving at Wakanda, and you seeing, like, Wakandans at the edge of the force field, clearly either panicking or already turned.
I think they're already turned. So,
like, that's a cool idea, because then it's the, oh shit, and you leave it on that cliffhanger of, will they solve it? Maybe. It's also interesting that our final girl of the whole thing is Spider-Man, Ant-Man's head, Black Panther, and Cape.
Well, most of Black Panther.
Most of Black Panther and Doctor Strange's cape.
Yeah.
Was there any stuff you really liked in it? Any stuff that stood out that made you go, oh, that was pretty cool?
No, not really.
Wow. Holy shit.
I don't hate it, but in terms
of
you
hate it.
Did I love anything about it? No, not really. It was fine. It was rushed. I don't think the writing was particularly good. It was serviceable. I don't know if because the dialogue was not great or because some of the actors involved aren't.
Let's get into it. Which voice actors did not?
Mark Ruffalo, shockingly.
Ruffalo's an odd one because, like, he has a very pleasant to listen to voice.
Tonally, it's wrong,
but it felt like he was playing a comedy.
All of them feel like they're playing more of a comedy than it is.
And I mean, there was a lot of levity in there, and there was a lot of one-liners and whatnot in there, and a lot of that could just be down to the fact that, again, it is a kid's show, it is a family show, and they don't want to completely freak out the kids.
It was all too funny. Everyone was playing it like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Do you think that was extra jarring because last week was a pure horror and played for horror?
Yes.
It's weird, isn't it?
And the quality of the voice acting in last week was so top notch.
Oh god, everyone across the board last week was on it.
It was incredible.
Yeah, so like who worked and who didn't work for you this week? I think Evangeline Lilly did a pretty great job.
Evangeline Lilly does a good job.
I think Danai Gurira did a great job as Okoye, albeit in the script she was given, because obviously she was given quite a lot of dry, it's not great Saki lines, but she's voice acting. It was like, yep. Right.
The dude who's never forgotten who fills in for Tom Holland was pretty good, but again the dialogue wasn't great.
First mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU though, outright.
Yeah,
like actual Uncle Ben. It's like, wait, what?
True.
Did he just say the word? As we were watching it, I just sort of stopped and turned to Luke because I had this little reaction of, oh shit, there we go.
I thought
it happened in What If? Original. Jesus Christ.
Hey, got it again!
But with it came that mention that Aunt May is either dead or a zombie as well, which is horrible. The thought of that.
It's horrible for her. Everyone's
protect Marissa Tomei at all costs.
Folks. Everyone who we don't see is a zombie.
Yeah, it's assumed that that's the case considering how we find everyone. Because like, zombie Iron Man, Wong, and Strange are really creepy concept, but like. it almost felt like they nerfed the idea of superpowered zombies, because all the rest of them that pursue them after that are mostly like tech based or hand-to-hand combatants.
After Hank gets small
until Wanda
and starts
obviously
infecting everyone, what happens to him then?
Yeah, again, the origin concept of this is a fascinating idea. Like, so the what if, because that's the thing as well. Like, each week there is a thing that's different.
Yeah,
and last week it was Christine was with Strange on that fateful drive, and she dies in the car crash.
Yeah,
that's what changed the course of it. And Captain Carter, like, Peggy didn't go upstairs to the observation deck, so she caught Richard Armitage's little bastard early, and that started a scuffle that changes how that goes out. This time it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hank gets into the quantum realm, finds Jan, but Janet isn't just like, oh, I've been surviving out here. She's been infected by a quantum level virus. He gets bitten. The zombies seem to possess basic enough intelligence to utilize their skills.
Yeah.
So he drives back to the lab and attacks, and Scott's the first casualty. Although Vision then gets his head, I guess.
Yeah.
So and then you see that the reason why Hank spreads it around San Francisco.
I bet he does.
And then the Avenger, a made up kind of like group of Avengers is sent there to deal with it. Like, they all put, because they meant there's a throwaway line in, they put aside their differences to deal with this. Yeah. And you see that Cap gets bitten first because Hank is there.
Yeah.
Super tiny and biting everyone. You're like, oh, cool. So what happens now? And then we never see him again.
Yeah. So what?
This show's got something against Michael Douglas, man.
This show?
He's been the villain in 2 of them.
What are you, some kind of fucking pervert? Yeah, it just feels like a big old missed opportunity. It's tonally all over the place. The performances don't match the dialogue. The dialogue doesn't match the plot.
And they try to explain it, and they try to make it logistical. Scott's dialogue, he explains. He says, like, sorry, I tend to overly joke when I'm nervous and terrified of what's happening. And you're like, cool, but then they keep joking.
Yeah.
Although I've got to admit, I did chuckle aloud at the Wingardium Leviosa, even though it made no sense. It was just the fact that that the only reason Cape survived was because they knew they were going to do a head in a jar gag. And they were like, what if the Cape wears the head of the jar?
It bounced off me.
That's fine.
It bounced right off me.
It's my least favourite of the 5 we've had so far.
Yeah, I think it's the.
It was doomed from the start.
You could make a case for it being actually bad, but I don't think it is.
Yeah. I won't go so far as to say it's bad, because I don't think on like a technical level and a set piece, the choreography in terms of the action scenes.
Bad, actually.
Writing's not great.
I've convinced myself the writing's bad. The dialogue's bad. The writing's bad.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It would have been vastly improved had it lent more into the horror and the despair element of it all.
The writing's bad.
And just done a flat horror.
You feel bad for liking it.
Because we know that What If can do pure horror, because it did it last week.
Yeah.
And it did it really well.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a wacky zombie story, you limit it to a much smaller group of characters, and you kind of tonally contain it in a zombie land, Shaun of the Dead kind of way, where the humour comes from the scenarios and the way certain people react to the scenarios.
The stakes are too high for so much of this to be as funny as it is.
I mean, the
light-hearted as it is in a weird way.
Like, they lose Happy, and Sharon is devastated, and Peter is like, we have to keep going, but is clearly shaken by it.
Yeah.
But then 5 minutes later, they blow up Sharon from the inside. No one gives a fuck. Like, Hope is joking about like needing to clean off, and
there's
you're like,
no time for anything to land.
Yeah, it's like, if you care about these people,
which nobody does.
Why are you joking about it? It's just except then Hope gets scratched, and everyone's like, oh my god, Hope, no! And it's like, well, hang on, you can't just care for some of them and not for the others at all. Like,
and also, there's inconsistent.
Everyone's life has got to matter. Everyone's life has to matter.
How long does it take?
Because Happy changes within like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I like zombie Hawkeye as a concept, because even though it's just dude with arrows, it's like the only difference is his aim is slightly off because physically he's weaker.
Zorkai.
Oh god.
Hawkby.
Hawkeye is on the stalks. I don't know.
Hawks.
I don't know. And like the happy death was sort of like kind of disturbing. But
the one that we all want.
How dare you? I want my death to be traumatic. For everyone involved, especially me. No. I think to that effect, the most effective horror moment in it for me was an unseen one completely. It was Kurt's death.
Yes.
Wanda just telekinesis pulls him down the hallway and he just vanishes.
Well, it's also because Kurt is so terrified, but that terror is also rooted in the Baba Yaga joke, which doesn't quite work.
I think it's only, as weird as it sounds, I think that was only in here because he kind of gets killed by Baba Yaga. Yeah, like he gets killed by a zombie witch. And B, to remind people, oh shit, it's the Ant-Man guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
You could have done that earlier. You could have had just like a line of dialogue explaining that Hope and Kurt are the only two of their like friend group who survived San Francisco.
Yeah.
Because then you go, oh right, yeah, the guy from Ant-Man. Okay, fair enough. I also think having Bruce be our POV character for just like 3 minutes and then moving the fuck on was kind of a wasted opportunity, because then there would have been more focus. You could have dealt more with like one individual's reaction to the world around them and what had happened to it. I don't know. I part of me thinks, as I've said, I think it was doomed from the start because you can't do a proper full-on zombie movie for kids. No. It can't be done.
No.
I give them props for trying. I give them massive props for the fucking Black Panther like steal from the comics, because I'd never in a million years thought they would have included that part of it.
And it's always good to hear a little bit of Chadwick Boseman,
who does a great job, and I personally I don't think it's bad telly, but it's absolutely for me the weakest episode of the series so far.
I think I convinced myself it's bad. The more I talk about it, the less I like it.
Oh damn! Quick, think about something happy.
We've got that big Shang-Chi email we didn't get to last week.
Let's fucking read that Shang-Chi email. Let's read
it.
Out the Shang-Chi email. Spoiler alert for the Shang-Chi email. Since we last got that Shang-Chi email.
Yes, in the title.
There are 2 Shang-Chi action figures in this room.
All hail the king. Siren emoji contains Shang-Chi spoilers. Siren emoji. I hope that's appropriate warning this time, Matt. That's the title of the email.
Who's it from?
From James.
James, thank you so much. I love it. I love the enthusiasm and the overcaution. Good work.
Yeah, because it was James who spoiled Suicide Squad for me.
And Matt's convinced himself that you are a bad writer. You're badly written, James.
No, it's because I was skimming the email.
You're badly written, James. You're badly written. Next time, James, try to do less humour and more horror.
Yes.
Okay?
Boys.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, there's a little Morris action figure there. You can just sort of look at that for a bit.
Morris! I'm going to hold him. I'm going to put him on my shoulder while I read this email.
He actually has got Morris on his shoulder.
Boy, I'm going to stroke him. Boys, both Christoph and Matouche.
Matouche!
It's time. On Friday, the 3rd September 2021 at 11:10,
I went
to a screening of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The film was glorious. Stellar performances from all. Amazing fight sequences, especially in the first and second acts. I love how much of this film is subtitled. It felt like the first 5 minutes was exclusively subtitled. Yes, lots of Mandarin in this. The language, not the... I think it's Mandarin. Might be, yeah, I think I'd have to check.
Point is, the film didn't pussy out. And it opened with like 5 minutes of everything is subtitled, deal with it. And trusted its audience to go, alright, sure, we'll go with it.
Everything is Chinese. I was surprised how quickly we got into the action after we met Sean. But I guess that had to be after the long prologue featuring the history of when we win the 10 rings. Abomination didn't say anything but looks very different. Wong is a mysterious man with clearly many interests. Razor Fist had a Razor Fist.
He did.
And survived. Looks like he'll be back. Razor Fist may be back. Tony Leung was a compelling villain right to his end with a tragic past I didn't entirely expect. But I'm not 100% clear on the timeline of the Ten Rings activity. They were clearly gone for a bit, but when exactly did Fala Chen's character die? Pre-2008? Are the Ten Rings in Iron Man connected with Wenwu's group? Are they a splinter faction after he gave the game up? Are they just the beginning of his new growing force? In any case, I didn't expect big soul monsters. It was a bit CG heavy, but there was a dragon and emotion, so I'll forgive it. Love is...
There's a dragon and emotion.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Any superhero movie that
emotion.
ends with the blue sky beam could be instantly made better if it at least contained a dragon and emotion.
Yes. This and The Raya and the Last Dragon have 3 things in common. Emotion, dragons,
and Aquafina.
But in this one, Aquafina is not the dragon. She is in Raya and the Last Dragon. Oh no, Morris!
Oh no, Morris!
Morris fell!
We lost Morris! We can see Morris!
Hey, Morris!
Hey.
Where was I? Love his mockery of the title Mandarin. Take that, Orientalism. Loved the heavy connections to All Hail the King. Of course they had to mention Iron Man in the film. Loved Kingsley and Morris. I cried a bit. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I wanted Wenwu to survive, disband the 10 Rings and be accepted into the village, but that's not the story they wanted to tell and continue to tell, because even though Wenwu is gone, the 10 Rings live on. Oh, and a few unexpected cameos at the end. Bruce is normal again, but still has a sling. Guess no Professor Hulk and She-Hulk. Well, could the Rings' rightful owner be returning for them? Oh, and Karaoke Wong, as I said, many interests. Give Simu Liu all the work. Yes.
Agreed.
He's done his time as a stock photo model.
He's been using that so brilliantly last week.
It's brilliant. By the way...
It's like you do one photo shoot in 2014 for $100. You don't expect them to still be using these pictures, but here we fucking
that's
go.
That's the world of stock photos for you. By the way, I met John Cena this week.
Hey! Yes! He was down in London.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was casually working my weekend job in Hyde Park, pedal boats, on the 5th of September when a couple walked onto the jetty. I thought to myself, that guy has muscles and veins big enough to be John Cena. He got closer. Oh, he is John Cena. I started getting them safely onto their boat as with any other Quest customer when it became too much for me. Can I ask you a question? Yes, he replied. Are you Peacemaker? Yes, I am. His partner loved that I asked if he was Peacemaker. I told him I loved the movie and couldn't wait for the show. I was looking forward to seeing what they had to present at Fandom. He knew the date. Then I went into work mode. God, I couldn't say that. I then went into work mode and sent them off as normal. That's when I broke down. All excitement spilt forth. I made sure I got them off the boat as well. Told him how I thought Peacemaker would change after the line. Peacemaker, what a joke. How he and James could have broken my heart. His reply, well, hopefully we can build it back up again.
Oh,
nice. My colleagues and I got a photo with him, and before he left, I told him how much I admire his Make-A-Wish work. He said, you've made my day. John Cena is really kind, and like that, he was gone. Oh, and Matt Hancock was there that hour too. I considered dunking him in the water, but I couldn't put his 2 young kids through seeing that. They've suffered enough. That was the first hour of work. The rest of the day was long. Like this email. Sorry.
James, do not apologise.
And he sent us a photo of his John Cena time from the guy who put John Cena on a boat that was probably too small for his weight. I mean, James, hang on. We're the same person this time. There we go.
James and John Cena.
Justice, that's how James.
James holding the oar.
Cena!
Looks like a spear. Wait a minute. Why is James and all of his colleagues posing with an empty space?
Yeah, I can't see anything.
There's nothing there. What are you? I think James is lying.
Wait, it's John Cena.
If I had 2 recorders, they'd be in my nose right now. One for the Vine kids. Thanks for that, James. That's awesome. Well, there you go, listeners. Have you met John Cena? The challenge is on.
Have you?
Go and meet John Cena.
Would you even know?
The most people to meet John Cena before the end of the year.
Win a John Cena.
We'll ship it out to you. Do you know what? Genuine competition. If you can get a picture with John Cena before the end of the year, then you and James will receive a John Cena from us in January. I'm not even joking. We'll do it. We'll post them a John Cena. If you want to know how to get involved, go get a photo with John Cena, you sons of bitches. And email us, bigdamcontact@gmail.com. Or you can tweet us at BigDamCast. You can, of course, watch live stream gaming filth from the man to my left, who's currently holding my baby daughter in his arms and scratching her on her.
She's not your daughter, Christopher. She's a dog.
She's my doggy daughter.
She's not your daughter.
Well, you can be the judge of that on twitch.tv/BigDamStream. And if you want to throw some shekels, keep the lights on, pay for the storage of this podcast, get onto the Discord, be there for when we now, because we're actually able to find some kind of stability in the near future. It'd be nice. Start shipping out some tasty little film and TV commentaries. Patreon.com/BigDamCast. But until next time,